Welcome back, everybody, to game number 4 here at the After Hours Gaming League Season 3, week number 2 in our fight between Team EA and Team GREE. We've got the scores at the moment sitting pretty nicely for EA right now. Of course, this is a best of 5, where, of course, we need to get to 3 to win, just in case you didn't have a calculator with you for that one. Our blue Terran player up at the top left-hand side, playing for Team EA, is going to be Meva? I don't know, I'm going to go with Meva, just because it's easier, and I like it that way. He's looking to finish off GREE. Of course, we've seen some very interesting base trade games in the initial couple, and then of course in game number 3 we saw our GREE player, the team trader. Well, I don't want to say team trader. That perhaps puts it in a bit of a harsh light. But the gentleman who moved across, of course, Johnny, moved across from EA to GREE and has actually gotten the first win for GREE here, looking to get a second win and perhaps help to even out the scores and look towards taking the game to a number 5 will be Team GREE's Isle Mad. He's going to be our red Protoss down at the bottom right-hand side here of AHGL Wastes. You may have seen this map before. If you've been playing some Heart of the Swarm beta yourself, you will know, of course, this map. But, of course, if you've been playing Wings of Liberty, it has been added into the recent season. Of course, there is a slight difference. This little pile of rocks here, the rock tower, that drops down some rocks over on this little patch here that sort of blocks off the third base quite nicely, is not available in Wings of Liberty. Of course, the technology isn't there yet for rocks to be able to drop onto the ground, so that's not there. But in Heart of the Swarm, it does make this map a little... I kind of feel like this map's much more feasible as a sort of a tournament level map in Heart of the Swarm, just due to the fact that you can add in this little interesting tidbit of the game where you can block off your third after you've cleared the rocks that are already there, and then of course take this third base in a nice fashion, a very defensive posture as well. Looks like we'll have, well, just a standard sort of opening at the moment from both of these guys. No crazy cheese coming out from either of them. It looks like we will just still continue on with the one gate based expansion, I guess, here from Isle Mat. Nope, he's going to pick up a second gas, alright, so he's going to change it up. Looks like the probe from Isle Mat did have a quick look through, saw a 1 gas there, did also see the fact that the... actually, I don't think he saw that, sorry, I wasn't actually looking at that properly, but there will be a factory coming straight out here from Meva. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is Heart of the Swarm, where we will have the availability of Siege mode straight up. So I haven't actually played any Heart of the Swarm recently as Terran myself, but I keep meaning to, because I play quite a lot of mech as Terran in any matchup, and I really want to try it out. So I'm meaning to get to it. I haven't had too much time recently, but as we can see, it looks like well, no revelation of exactly what's going on just as of yet. However, there is a lot of chrono boosts available to Isle Mat. We'll probably see, yep, I was going to say, throw it down on the cybernetics core. Looks like he may be going for some early gateway aggression here. Meva was able to scout that out. He's got, of course, the tech lab just building there on that barracks. It looks like he's going to grab the quickest of quick siege tanks. This looks very similar to a very old school Brood War build, where you'd actually get these tanks out to expand very quickly. So he is going to pick up a tank there. Of course, the siege mode, as we mentioned before, is already ready to go once that pops out of the factory. A bunker being thrown down as well. It looks like it will be a 4-gate from Isle Mat. He's just going to try and finish off this game in style, going very old school. We've as we mentioned, we've seen some old school stuff come about from some of these players, where we saw in game number 1 the old Roach Hydra play come out of our Zerg player. And then, of course, we saw Void Rays and Colossus and those kinds of very old standard things. We haven't actually seen too much of the newer unit play, of course. I doubt we're going to see... Well, we might see Widow Mines here from Meva, but I'm not sure. He's going to throw down his command center to get that started down at the natural. And it looks like this SCV is an absolute champ. He's going to get inside, sees that the mothership core is just floating across now, trying to deny that SCV from getting any scouting done, but the gates have switched over. The strategy is revealed. Now, this sort of puts us in a very interesting spot. There is what is... I wouldn't say that's standard to see that straight away, but the supply depot wall at the front, bunker at the back at a far enough distance so that the stalkers can't easily take them out. A tank is also here, ready to rumble with this 4-gate that's now coming in. A couple of stalkers and a couple of zealots just already marching up the ramp. I'm not sure these guys had their they've got their clocks mixed up, because that's a little bit early to head into that party and knock on the front door. So this sort of leaves us in a really interesting spot, where as we can see, the tank has got a great amount of firepower to throw down anywhere on this map here, as we can see, and you know, it's going to be really dependent on whether Matt can actually just continue to push up and try and get inside here. He's going to try and want to target down one of these supply depots to bust them down as quickly as possible to allow himself through the front door. What I would also like to see is perhaps a little bit of a closer pylon here just to add in, but he will bust straight through the door. He's going to head just straight up to the tank, and it looks like he is going to get through here. The question is, will he be able to get enough damage done, because the Stalkers have been cut down so fast. The Mothership Core is also gone. This tank does survive with 8 health, just survives there. Starport is also on the way, so Meva is going to continue on with this much higher level tech production here. He's already got all the Marines he needs, and they've done the damage they needed to do. 8 Marines in total, of course. A couple of Hellions are also out here for Meva as well. He's now going to try and get some of these Stalkers through. They see that the tank has been repaired, very nicely done by Meva there, and it looks like our Protoss Matt is going to need to back off, of course, committing to that very early, very, I suppose this day and age you would call it a very cheesy strat. I think in Heart of the Swarm it's going to be considered very cheesy, considering the fact that siege tanks are going to be available to Terran players these days. So just, I don't know, it kind of felt like an interesting build, given that that Matt did actually see that his opponent went for gas. You've just got to be a little bit more concerned about the capabilities and the defensive posture that a Terran might take if they do go for gas pretty quickly. Now, we did mention mech before, and it looks like Meva is actually going to pick up the armory there. We'll see if he actually is going to use that just to have the ability to switch into the Hellbats here for these Hellions, or if he's going to be able to go into a full longer term game here. I think he's going to probably just look to some sort of quick push after he perhaps takes his second base and gets that economy pumping. At the moment, Matt just has a few Stalkers out of the map. He's got a couple of sentries there with them. The natural has gone down, of course, but not really too much damage going to be, sorry, not too much economic bonus going to be thrown out there for Matt just at the moment. So there are a couple of those, the Hellbats, the old Battle Hellion as they were once called. Keep in mind, these units are actually mechanical and biological. The medevac that has been brought out here by Meva is actually going to be able to heal these up. This is a very cool little strategy that it looks like Meva is going to go for. I think this is going to be a timing push, perhaps with a couple of tanks, or wait, only one tank, because he's already got one out. A couple more Hellions on the way, a second factory being built, of course, a third command center as well. He's really playing this out quite nicely, and it looks like with his natural base up and running, he's going to get ready to probably push out pretty soon. The Stalkers still unaware of what's going on. They should be aware quite soon, though. The Hellbats, the Marines, and the tank are on the warpath now, just cleaning out some of these proxy pylons to make sure there's no pesky backup units just warped in from Matt to try and sort of recoup himself and keep himself in the game here. But at the moment, as we said, it's a very precarious position right now for our Red Protoss player from Team GREE. He's currently sitting on a total of 30 probes right now. Not a nice amount at all. Never going to scout through, see exactly what's going on, of course, with a lot of Stalkers there at the front. Of course, a couple of sentries were available as well. The Hellion pulling them back, and it looks like he is going to be able to move into position here with the siege tank at the bottom of the ramp. Spotting on the high ground is the Banshee, and of course the medevac that's there as well. The Robo Bay is just about done here for Matt, but the issue is Colossus aren't really going to help here. I mean, he kind of needs a combination of some zealots, Stalkers, and maybe an Immortal or two to help out with dealing with these, with the Hellbats. Not to mention the tank in the background there. Not to mention this, the Banshee that also throws out a large amount of damage. And look at that, the Hellbats just saying hello, boys, to the ramp there. Stalkers all clumped up on the ramp. Not the best position to be in when you've got Hellbats firing down with their what's it called these days? The napalm spray, of course, doing extra damage to light units, 30 damage on light units. That includes, of course, those zealots, the probes, and all those funky little things that the Protoss will have. So he's just absolutely steaming through those earlier units there at the front gate there, and Matt is looking like he's in quite a bit of trouble right now. Back at home for Meva, he's in a beautiful position. The second, third armory is now going up. We've got a third command center switching into the orbital command, but I think it's not really going to matter at all. The Mothership Core coming down, a couple of zealots at the front trying to tank up some of the damage. The tank, is it going to stay alive? Just goes down. So the one large piece of firepower that Meva has been taken out, but he will still continue to push in here. 5 Marines, 3 Hellbats, and a Banshee up in the sky. Of course, keep in mind, the medevac is able to heal up not only those Marines, but also those Hellbats. And it looks like a couple of extra units are now coming in for Meva. He's got the reinforcements on the way. In fact, a Thor going to throw his firepower into the mix. Looks like a Photon Overcharge has been thrown down on the main base nexus of Isle Map, but I mean, he's sitting in the red. He's lost pylon power to all of his gateways here. His robo facility is the only thing that is available to him to pump out some units, but of course everything in this place, apart from the observer, is has a very long queue time, so he's effectively done right now. I don't think there is any way he can come back into this against the Terran player who's sitting on 2 bases, sitting on 42 harvesters against 24. You're in quite a tough spot here, and Islemat is going to defend to his last dying breath. Stalkers doing what they can, but unfortunately the game is all done, and EA is going to take a 3-1 win here in Week 2 of the After Hours Gaming League. Hope you all enjoyed the matches. Of course, you can find more of me over on youtube.com/DuckVilleLol. You can also say hi on Twitter. It's at DuckVilleLol. And of course, some of the folks have been asking, you know, how do you draw all these cool little pictures on the screen that can point out crazy things and do attempted circles like that? Look at that, that's an awesome circle. Well, that's called SC2 Tactician. You can find it over at SC2Tactician.com. Have a look yourself if you're a broadcaster or perhaps just the average streamer wanting to do some analysis of your own games, and I'm sure you can have some fun as well. Make sure you stay tuned to AfterHoursGamingLeague.tv to find all of the matches from the league. Of course, we'll see how we go into week number 3 next week, and I hope to catch you all there.